Grab your cup. I want to talk about anger because anger is very important. We need it. We have it for a reason. And a lot of people are afraid of expressing their anger. A lot of people are used to shoving their anger down. So here's the impact of that. Dr. Ben Johnson was an oncologist. He co-authored the Healing Codes with Dr. Alex Lloyd. And he said, and he's quoted in the book as saying, as an oncologist, I have never met a cancer patient who did not have an anger issue. Okay, I never met one who did not have an anger issue. Colin Tippings was from England. He ran workshops with his wife for cancer patients. He created the Radical Forgiveness Program, and he ran workshops for cancer patients, like long weekends, 4 or 5 days. I don't know exactly how many days it was. Cancer patients, and the entire weekend was on forgiveness. They dug in deep on forgiveness. And the people who participated and stepped into that and were able to release the anger they were holding, when they got back from the workshops, their test results were altered. They changed the outcome of their treatments for cancer by releasing the anger and working on forgiveness. Chinese medicine, it's been around for a few thousand years. They know what they're doing. Chinese medicine correlates anger with the liver. Every organ in the body has a correlating emotion, or a couple of them, that affect that particular organ in Chinese medicine. So think about what the liver does. The liver's job is to get toxins. The body sends anything toxic in the tissues, in the cells, anywhere, to the liver, and the liver breaks it down and gets rid of it. That's the liver's job. It's the physical organ for getting rid of toxins. Anger is toxic. It's toxic when it stays in us. It's not toxic in and of itself. It's toxic when we don't know how to express it, when we turn it inward, when we hold it down. That's a toxic emotion. Holding that in affects how the liver can actually get rid of the toxins in your body, which probably contributes to cancer developing, because the chemicals and things that we're exposed to that we should be able to break down and get rid of, we don't. Also, Dr. Gabor Mate, who is known, he has probably at least 4 books out, known for working with trauma, known for working with people who have had very painful pasts and depression. He talks about how anger and autoimmune conditions are related. So let's look at that. Anger is the barrier. It's the emotion that comes up that we can use as a barrier to say, what you just did is not okay. I'm not going to accept that. That's not okay with me. It's a barrier that, when we feel it and recognize it and allow ourselves to act on it, protects us, right? The immune system is the physical barrier for protection. The immune system's job is to keep things out that are not okay for our body, viruses, bacteria, those chemicals that cause cancer. So the immune system really and the liver work together, because the immune system is the first step, like, let me keep it out. But if it got in, now the liver's job is to get it, break it down, and get rid of it. So if you have a barrier issue in your emotions, you don't tell people what they did is not okay. You never learned how to express that. You don't know how to put up the right barrier, and so you keep taking things. Then your immune system also doesn't know what to do. It's following what you're doing emotionally. And so, again, with cancer, what it might keep out is coming in. And with autoimmune conditions, so the research shows also autoimmunity higher in women, 3-to-1 women to men. Also, women have more of a likelihood to not express anger. and to try to always be nice and to make things okay. Autoimmunity is when the immune system is not doing its job appropriately. It's not turning on and then turning off. Autoimmunity is when the immune system is turning on the body itself and attacking something in the body inappropriately that is not there to attack. When we have anger that we don't let out, we hold it in, it becomes a problem inward, right? So instead of expressing the anger outward and letting it leave, we turn it inward. That's an immune system that's turned inward. So there's a correlation with autoimmunity and anger, cancer and anger, the immune system, the liver. So anger is the barrier. When we're very, very young, it's one of the first things we learn to say no. We learn to say no until we're told, don't say no. So now let's look. If you grew up in a household where there were a lot of anger issues, people were yelling all the time, it was explosive, you didn't feel safe, you may have learned anger is scary. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to always be even keel. And you have worked on shoving your anger down. Or maybe you were told, don't you talk back to me. Don't you say that. I don't care what you think. It's going to go this way. And you weren't allowed to. Nobody ever showed you how to appropriately express your anger. Or maybe you've held it in for so long, and then when it comes up, it is so overwhelming and it bursts out and you feel like you can't control it. And that's scary. It reminds you of those angry outbursts when you were little. So people deal with their anger in a lot of different ways, but holding it down, not processing it, being afraid of it, thinking that showing up as even keel and nice and making it okay for people, that's affecting your health. It's also having you be a great target for someone with narcissistic tendencies, which, by the way, is also someone who didn't learn how to manage their boundaries and didn't learn how to manage their anger. Because oftentimes they know how to look really great and how to be nice when they need to be and can be very charming. And then you have no idea when it's coming and the anger explodes and who they are totally changes, right? That person finds people who always want to be nice, who don't express their anger and have learned to shove their boundaries down. That narcissistic person finds the partner who doesn't have the boundaries, who doesn't say quickly, no, that's not okay with me. That's how that ends up together. So anger is important, and expressing it for your health, for your relationships, and for your sense of self. Don't be afraid of anger because it'll serve you. Have a good day.